Hello! When Piccolo first met Gohan, he looked like a normal boy, but that was irrelevant. Piccolo was immoral and demandant of results. He apathetically tossed Gohan into the Pico program, the harshest level of training you can evoke on a child without getting child services involved. To his astonishment, Gohan thrived in this environment. Yet, hidden talents rare amongst those his age. After witnessing the rare innate power Gohan possessed, he knew he had to cultivate this rare talent to the best of his ability, for in its wake, there would be greatness. He did not care for what anyone had to say, not even child services. Instead, Piccolo took Gohan to the next level of the Pico program, by adding the weight of picograms to his body. The picogram should have crossed a line. Gohan should have been taken into foster care for these blatant acts of abuse. Looking around, it was no wonder why Gohan was Piccolo's only student, but nonetheless, the rare talent Gohan possessed survived, then thrived even in that harsh environment. He became bigger, badder. Each phase of his evolution, he became greater than what he once was, up until he ascended to the rank of Gohan. From here, he was untouchable. To this day, the only person who could really ever defeat him was himself. Every opponent before him was picked apart, losing outside the arena before the battle had even begun. Now, why was Gohan so powerful? Well, actually, it wasn't the Pico program or even Piccolo. He actually thought Piccolo was kind of mean. He didn't really like the guy.
My original fight team, I won't give them a shout out because I think they're...
And, in all honesty, there are physical specimens at every corner of this stage. Instead, it was beyond what Piccolo had forced him to do. What Gohan always had over his opponents was knowledge and a technical advantage. In interviews, he states that he never liked committing more than 80% of his power because it left him open. So instead, he was constantly outsmarting his opponents with techniques rare in the mixed martial arts arena. A straight-up arsenal he had. Why? Look-see-do. Coined by his manager, Gohan would look at techniques on YouTube, then do them. Basically, learning how to fight at the highest level through the platform known as YouTube. This is how Gohan states he taught himself how to fight.
Oh, a look-see-do fighter. Kind of learned how to fight on YouTube. I would watch things on YouTube and I would do it. I look at it, I would see it, and then I would do it.
This is actually something we can all do, which is why it seems so weird. But nonetheless, this was Gohan's creative advantage over the rest of the competition. It's no wonder Gohan is so good at studying his opponent's techniques, studying how to counter them effectively to shut down their game. That's actually what Gohan's last two contenders had said about Gohan. Gohan completely nullified what they wanted to do.
I couldn't follow up my game plan. And he just shut me down. I fought his game today.
I know I just keep saying I don't know. It's never happened to me before. I wasn't worried about what he was going to do back. I just couldn't go.
He did not let them fight back at all. Studying techniques for himself, experimenting the same way many innovators and scientists have, Gohan learned how to fight through YouTube, building an awareness for different techniques, how they function, their purpose, their philosophy, gaining the knowledge advantage.
The placement of my shin and the placement on his thigh, I guarantee you they're going to bruise up so good.
With that self-learning ability exercised innately, when it came to studying his opponents, he could better understand their techniques and philosophy, their individual approach. Then, with his exercised intellect, he would take advantage of their game, their habits. Gohan has stated that he figures out everything, that he figures out every flinch, every head position, every reason as to why his opponents would do anything. Then he figures out how to take advantage of it, how to deal with it. This is a lot to take in, but by exercising the ability to self-learn, he expanded and understood more about himself, which innately allowed him to know more about others. It's as Bruce Lee had said, if you want to know about others, first know about yourself. This is cornerstone to Jon Jones's game, why some of his greatest attributes appear to be not just his unique anatomy, but his IQ. He is a true student of the game. It is, as Mark Twain had said, I've never let my schooling interfere with my education. Regardless of what you think about Gohan, there is a reason to his invincibility, and regardless of the mistakes he's made in the past, his existence shares a message valuable to our current time and era. Now, consider this. The moment we can walk and talk, we're thrusted into an environment where all we do is take in authority, regurgitate authority, appeal to authority, never really learning to think and explore for ourselves throughout that process. The natural outcome following is learned helplessness. The result of that is individuals complaining about everything wrong in the world due to their own sense of feeling powerless within it. From that state of learned helplessness, then thrusted into the real world, the creativity and patience to self-learn needed for the chaotic nature of life is just not there. You can see why this arena is the perfect microcosm for life. There are fundamentals that consistently work, have a high success rate, typically simpler and more direct understandings, which are prevalent in disciplines like boxing, Muay Thai, wrestling. But beyond that, when everyone understands what works, what to expect, you're either the best at simplicity or you use a knowledge advantage, a creative way, to make another way work instead. That is the self-proclaimed YouTube self-learner, John. He used his IQ and desire to learn to better leverage his ability to learn. Learning is like a muscle, thus inevitably gets easy. You just get better and better at it, especially when it's fueled with passion. The awareness John has over his body, his ability to throw similar looking kick after kick, only to have it translate out differently. The way he uses his opponent's habits against him, like his spinning elbow for example. He often fires it off a wrestling feint.
Oh, elbow! That's that bow! That's that bow!
Alright, so you think that you should get the legs when you come down to stop it, get your legs? I just want to
Oh, wow. That's hard. I'm gonna use that on my kids.
John can do things other fighters cannot because no one teacher alone can teach anyone everything. Here's what's real though. The teachers who acknowledge they have a deficit in their knowledge that, of course, what they believe in is true, real, genuine, and very effective, but at the same time, they themselves don't have all the answers, those are the teachers you have to learn from. They're the ones you have to respect the most because even though they admit they aren't confident in everything, innately, what they do know comes from a genuine, confident place. It's real. That humility makes it real. And nothing, regardless of arena, beats authenticity. No one man knows everything. No human has all the answers. Thus the best we can do is take what we learn from those who are genuine and willing to share. If you cannot find the teachers, know that in this arena of learned helplessness, it is also one of infinite information. Thus, I implore you to find another way. To jump into that chasm of unknown, then attempt to figure out what makes the most sense to you, what feels the best to you. Test it in the real world. Critique it, question it, then try. Try again, because the formula of trying, failing, figuring it out, then growing is the same amongst every great. It has always been the natural process towards succeeding. That is John's advantage, and I'm sure you haven't even seen him in his final form yet. Regardless of your path, let this give you the authority to learn for yourself and figure out your individual condition in relation to the world. After all, if John Jones can reach the top of a grand stage with looks-see-do, regardless of what you think of John, you can take this wisdom and grow beyond your current paradigm. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is a key, but without hard work, you cannot turn the lock. When you understand this in the age of information, with courage and action, I assure you, you are far more capable than the illusion of limitation before you. Thank you, John Jones, for this lesson. If you'd like more from me, please subscribe and hit the notifications. Thank you if you did. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. It's good karma. And until next time, peace.
You know, I think I owe not losing to losing. You know, I lose a lot in practice. To the fans and to other fighters, you know, they probably look at me as close to unbeatable. Where if you spend time with me and you see that I definitely am not a guy who wins every day.